So, hello everyone. We are here with one another insightful podcast, and today's guest is Mr. Vishal Gupta, the CTO and co-founder of Maxvolt. Welcome, Vishal.
Thank you. Thanks for connecting. Thanks for inviting me for this, like for the session.
Pleasure. First of all, the first question which I would like to ask is Vishal that what is the main idea of Maxvolt? Like what is Maxvolt and what does it do?
So basically, Maxvolt is a battery company. So like what we do exactly in terms of battery. So we do batteries for two wheelers, three wheelers, energy storage applications, or I can simply say wherever you can imagine a lead acid battery, we can replace that with a lithium battery. That is what Maxvolt is.
Okay. So, what is the core idea of your business and from where did you get inspiration from?
So my background comes from mechanical engineering. I'm having specialization from IIT Delhi as well. So I was working with one of a startup named, like they were into solar panel cleaning robot manufacturing. So that robot would runs on an this lithium battery. So it cleans the panels at that point. So when I was working with them, so I feel like in the industry there are a lot of gap. People are not able to provide the proper product, plus they are not able to provide a workout on this prospect that will make the service better, will make a suitable and according to the market product. So that is
Hmm.
how we got started.
Okay, so Vishal,
So my background comes from mechanical engineering, and I'm having specialization from IIT Delhi in electric vehicles. So previously, I was working with a company I was working with a company who's particularly into this solar panel cleaning robots manufacturing.
hmm.
So at that point of time, I was taking care of their battery division. So
Hmm.
we were sourcing battery from outside.
Hmm.
So we were facing many challenges, like not getting the product on time. First of all, is the major challenge, which
Hmm.
delays the supply. Secondly, we are not getting the suitable product, or we
Hmm.
can say we are not getting the customizations in the product.
Hmm.
Thirdly, the service. So we are not getting the proper service in the industry. So that is how we thought of like there are a lot of gaps in the industry. So we
Hmm.
have to work out on the same and fulfill these gaps. That is how we get the inspiration to come up with Maxvolt and start a venture on the same.
Hmm. Okay. So, you just explained like the core business idea of your core model of your business. Where did you got this inspiration? Like, we should start, like, it is a co-founded business, right? Three
Yes.
founders are there. So, how did you guys got inspiration and how do you meet your mates, like other co-founders?
So at that point of time, when we incorporated in May 2019, prior to
Hmm.
that, we took almost a year to get into this market. So we did the market research, we did the market scenarios, how the market is working, and the future prospects. So we were
Hmm.
working on all these prospects. So then we get to know like the and at that point of the time, the government started pushing these electric vehicles at a very expedited pace.
Hmm.
So we were already researching on the same, and told you like from where we get the business idea and what are the market gaps which we were
Yeah.
planning to fulfill. So
Hmm.
and suddenly this market push from government came up. So we thought of like let's get into the market. There's a big market, and when government get involved in anything, so that market definitely becomes big. And we all know where the market stands right now and what the future prospects are there.
Okay. So, how is Maxvolt different from its competitors?
So, first of all, I would like to add one thing that we are not a EV battery manufacturing company.
Okay.
We are a battery manufacturing company.
Okay.
So
Okay.
whether it is for UPS, whether it is for backups, whether it is for home application, whether it is
Hmm.
for EV energy store, any application. So we are a battery company who's focused on getting lead lead acid batteries replaced by lithium batteries. That is how on which agenda we are working. So in terms of differentiation, first of all, so we introduced a 48-hour service, which I told you before that service is one of the major core prospect in the industry. And when it comes to the for a two-wheeler or three-wheeler user, so when the battery is dead, like the when the battery service is not will be provided to them properly, the scooter or the rickshaw will be in a steady state. and it is a
Hmm.
kind of dead inventory for them. So
Okay.
first of all, we introduce a 48-hour service
Hmm.
which is the total differentiation in the industry. Secondly, we provide a buyback on our batteries.
Hmm.
So those batteries, when the user will get a buyback value, same as a kind of lead acid batteries. And we have, in terms of supply chain, we have a very strong supply chain, which
Hmm.
help us to we have our own associate points on state to state basis, which we
Hmm.
have right now 6 associate points, and we are expanding this number to 20 by the end of this financial year. So these are the few differentiations that we have
Okay.
over our competitors.
Hmm. So can you explain like where do you like source your raw materials of like the battery?
So right now we source from China majorly because China is the major source for lithium cells, and they are the leaders in this as well. So
Hmm.
right now we source from China, but yes, we are looking for some other alternatives as well, like from Japan and Korea.
Okay, so like you prefer which country, like Japan or like is there any difference between those? Like the China thing is bad or like Japan is good or something like that.
So we cannot say that we work with one of the finest manufacturers in China.
Okay.
So like we can say we work with the top 10 manufacturers. We have a very strict quality agreement with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in terms of product quality, we have our own parameters. We have our own parameters which we give to the supplier.
Hmm.
On that behalf, we only take the materials. So we have a very strict quality process. Whether it is from anywhere, we have a very strict sourcing policies.
Okay. So like you source your raw materials from there, right? And then
Yes.
make like the finished product in like which state? Where's the place which you combine of
So
all of this and make a battery?
currently, our factory is based in Noida.
Okay.
And we are expanding our we are enhancing our capacity, and we are our new plant is in progress, so
Hmm.
we are expecting it to be get ready by the end of June. So we are planning to, so we have planned our current capacity is 2200 batteries a month in Noida, and we are
Okay.
expanding this number to almost thrice around 6000 to 7000 batteries a month, which we are doing in a new plant.
Okay. So you just told me like you don't just manufacture for like EV vehicles, you manufacture for like other appliances as well, right? UPS
Right,
and stuff.
right,
So you just told me the number 2200 per month.
right.
So it is just for the vehicles or it is like completely the like complete number is that?
So basically, in terms of battery, we
Hmm.
evaluate our capacity on the basis of a per kilowatt hour, basically, because
Okay.
that is the basic calculating criteria of the battery, we can say.
Hmm.
So these 2200 is on a standard 2 kilowatt hour battery pack basis.
Okay.
Our, like we can say our monthly capacity is around 4 megawatt hour.
Okay. So my next question to you, Vishal, is that how do you stay ahead in terms of technological advancements in the rapidly evolving market?
So, like, market is evolving in many
Hmm.
prospects, but yes, we are also competing with them, or like we are we are working in that prospect that we'll have the updated advancements in the market. So
Hmm.
right now we are working on a solution which will help to charge the battery in a faster way, so that we will reduce the charging time to 2 hours in the first phase, and and in the second phase we'll bring down the charging time to 1 hour.
Hmm.
And in this this is the one thing which we are working on, and other we are working on sodium ion technologies as well. Thirdly, we are working on the reusability and recycling part.
Hmm.
So these are the our core prospects which we are working towards. We have in terms of like R&D, which I told you, that we are working towards a development of a device, or we can say a complete system which helps the battery to get charged in 2 hours in the first phase, and in the second phase we'll bring it down to 1 hour.
Hmm.
Apart from it, we are working on high energy density cells as well, which increases which decreases the charging time basically. And
Hmm.
apart from it, sodium ion is one of the most promising and future based technologies in which we are also working is in the R&D phase. So
Hmm.
it is like, for energy storage, it is already a workable technology.
Hmm.
But for the EVs, we are like enhancing it according to the EV requirements.
Okay.
Yes.
So, like battery production, which you produce, like includes lithium and other cobalt and everything like that, right?
Yes, yes.
So, how do you ensure the sustainability of your battery production process?
So, so first of all, the point is like the cobalt and all these stuff came down to the cell manufacturing.
Hmm.
We are into battery pack manufacturing right now. Post
Okay.
5 years, we have plans to get into cell manufacturing as well.
Okay.
So, and when it comes to the quality or sustainability of our product, so as I said before, that we are having very strict quality parameters with the manufacturers.
Okay.
So from where we procure the material, and other thing is like that how we procure the material basically. So I'll give you a brief about that as well. So first of all, what we do, we give our parameters to the manufacturer,
Hmm.
and we strictly buy those only materials who are on our parameters. Secondly, when the material gets ready, we do a third party quality check of the material. And
Hmm.
when it ships from there and reaches our factory, so we test every single cell which is received from the manufacturer. And
Hmm.
then those cells, when they got tested and segregated according to the product designing or the product requirement, then we do a final quality test on the cells. Then it proceeds further for the pack manufacturing. And when the pack gets completed, we test the whole pack as well. So we test at the cell level first, which are the three points on which we check, and at the
Hmm.
pack level, 2 points which we check. So these are the overall from cell to pack. We check 5 points in that
Okay.
to sustain in terms of sustainability of the product.
Okay. So, what is like as a co-founder or a CTO, what is like your biggest learning you got from your journey so far?
So, like there are a lot of learnings, and we can say like we are learning on day-to-day basis.
Hmm.
Every day there's something new came up.
Yeah.
But in terms of like initial learnings, I can say. So when
Hmm.
we started, so the market was in the initial phase.
Okay.
So get first of all, getting the skilled manpower is one of the
Hmm.
major tasks.
Hmm.
So we that is the one challenge which we face. Finding the right supplier, like finding the correct product, finding the right market. These
Hmm.
are the many challenges which we faced, and accordingly we learn from them how to lend an OEM, how to enhance our distribution network, how to appoint dealers. So these are the learnings which we are doing on day-to-day basis. Plus, in terms of product, we are always open for the like enhancements and open for the suggestions as well. So we
Hmm.
take regular feedbacks from our client whether they are getting any issues or is the product running fine. So we take on regular intervals take these kind of feedbacks from the client so that we have understanding like where our product is standing. So that
Hmm.
is the learning which we are taking, and these are the things which we came up from the past as well.
Okay. So, are there any upcoming projects or innovations you are particularly excited about right now?
Yeah, so we are enhancing ourselves into this megawatt level projects. Right
Hmm.
now, we serve for energy storage up to 200 kilowatt solutions. But yes, post 1 year, we are having expansion plans to get into this megawatt or container level solutions, which will like the market requirement demands. This is the one project. Apart from it, we are moving towards the recycling as well. Right now, we are doing the reusability of the cells, and we
Hmm.
are moving towards recycling, so which will get us a healthy prospect in the market.
Yeah.
So and apart from it, we have our own charger, so we are working towards developing our own charger line as well. So these are
Okay.
the few projects down the line which we have, or like if I talk about in a long run, so like
Hmm.
post 5 years we have planned to get into cell manufacturing as well. So
Okay.
we are working towards the developing complete supply chain of like from raw material to the cell manufacturing. That is how we are working.
Okay, so you deal with other businesses, right? Like it is not a customer B2C business, it is a B2B business, right?
Yes, it is a B2B business.
Okay. So my next question is, how do you handle and end of life battery management and recycling?
So right now, what we do, as I stated, that we buy back batteries from the client. So
Hmm.
this is a win-win situation for a client and for us as well. So client gets a buyback value, which no one is offering in the market right now.
Hmm.
And we get the batteries buyback to our factory.
Okay.
Secondly, what we do, we use them in applications which requires very low current withdrawals.
Okay.
So, and when post to that, when they complete their life cycle in these kind of applications, for example, EV battery has completed its life cycle in EV application, then it will be able to use for like secondary applications, for example, like bulb application and
Mm.
backups application, which requires a very low current withdrawal. So we use them in those applications. And post to that, when they complete their life cycle, we put them for the recycling. As of now, we are supplying to the authorized recyclers for extracting the raw materials from the cells.
Mm.
But post next year, or like post 1 year, we have plans to set up our own recycling plant as well.
Okay. So that's also a part of the like advancement wala plan.
Exactly, exactly.
So can you like explain me the pricing and your profit margin in the like batteries? And you can you have this battery, we get this profit share, and in this battery we like the making cost is this much, and we like get this much like profit share.
So right now our COGS value is somewhere around, we can say like 76 to 78%,
Hmm.
and 22% is the overall margin which we get. That
Okay.
there are taxes and factory expenses and everything is there. So
Hmm.
the margin is somewhere around 22% right now. And as we are expanding towards recycling, so
Hmm.
we are planning to bring down our COGS value to somewhere around 65%. So there's a 10% impact which will recycling help us to get on our battery packs.
Okay.
Yes.
So, like you manufacture for EV vehicles, like the EV batteries, right?
Yes, it is one of our segments.
Yeah,
So
it is your
in
one
terms,
of your
yes,
segment.
yes, yes.
So one thing I would like to ask is, can you explain like how is EV like a better option than other like gases and petrol and everything else? What is the importance of EV in the market right now?
So if you see in today's EVs, one of
Hmm.
the major challenge in EV. So first we talk about the challenge, because then
Hmm.
we get to know how good it is or how bad it is.
Yeah.
So basically, when we buy a EV, so we have a single thought process. Ke if I want to go, for example, like 100 or 150 kilometers, so
Hmm.
does my EV sustainable? Or if I have to go up and down of a total run of around 150 kilometers, so
Hmm.
am I able to charge the battery in that meantime that I'll get that particular amount of range?
Okay.
So our batteries came up with this, that we have range from 1.2 kilowatt for EVs specifically, for
Hmm.
two-wheelers I'm talking about. We
Okay.
have range from 1.25 kilowatt to 3 kilowatt solutions, which will give you a sufficient amount of range around 150 to 170 kilometers on
Hmm.
standard conditions.
Okay.
Plus, our battery supports fast charging system, and we are so right now our battery gets charged in 3 to 3.5 hours,
Hmm.
and we are working towards this solution to bring it down to 2 and 1 hour as well,
Okay.
which I told you
So
previously.
how
So
that happen? Like you are the CTO, then how are you going to do that? Like the three, you have to like bridge the gap of 1 hour, right?
exactly, exactly.
So how are you planning to do that?
So basically, we are working towards a, like, we can say it's a hybrid energy storage solution I am talking about, which is
Hmm.
specifically for EVs we are developing. So
Hmm.
in these solutions, we are having two different modules. One is the supercapacitor module, another one is the lithium battery module.
Hmm.
So in this, what's happening, how the our scooter works in, I'll tell you how the scooter works. So in
Hmm.
a scooter, basically, the peak whenever we give the initial boost, like when we do the initial throttle, so the vehicle withdraws a peak power from the battery.
Okay.
So the solution which we are developing,
Hmm.
so that peak power will be supplied by the supercapacitor module,
Hmm.
and when it comes to the nominal power, it will be supplied by the lithium battery module. So
Hmm.
that is a complete solution which we are working on. So we are having working towards the electronics on the same, because switching is the major task in this solution. When it
Okay.
comes to the peak power, it will switch to the switch to the supercapacitor module. When it like when there's a nominal power, it will switch to the lithium battery module. So
Hmm.
that is the solution which will bridge our gap to for 1 hour, which I said, and which you
Hmm.
asked for. And post to that, we'll bridge that gap of 2 hours. So as I
Hmm.
said, we are bringing it down to 1 hour charging time.
Hmm.
So that is the solution. Plus, we are working on high energy density cells as well, which will help us to reduce the charging time in shorter span as well.
Okay.
Yes,
So can you explain me, like, if I have a two-wheeler,
right.
okay, so I'll have to carry like two batteries every time I step out of the house, like that process.
So, no, as I said, we have solution from 1.2 to 3 kilowatt hour, and
Hmm.
we have customization solutions as well. So, for
Okay.
example, if you say I have a running of around 150 kilometers
Hmm.
and your scooter motor is 1000 watt. So we have like 48, like we can say 3 kilowatt solution, which we have. So that will give you that that much amount of range, like
Okay.
150 kilometers, which you need.
Hmm.
If you want post that, so we will evaluate everything about your scooter,
Okay.
about the sizing that you have available. So we
Hmm.
design the battery pack for you as well. That is the customization part, which we basically do for OEMs as well, because every time OEM is having a specific demand. Someone
Hmm.
wants a shorter range battery, someone wants a bigger range batteries. So
Hmm.
we have solutions for both.
Okay.
So in simple short, you have to like keep a single battery,
Okay.
which we design according to your specific requirement.
Okay.
If
So,
you are an OEM, original equipment manufacturer, like scooter manufacturer, if you are a rickshaw
okay.
manufacturer.
Okay. So, for example, like, can you tell me the clients you deal with, like any big, any changing clients in your, like, which have changed your journey of Maxvolt? Any big clients you have dealt with?
So initially, we worked out with many reputed OEMs in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But post to that, like as we were not that deep pocket company initially,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we changed our criteria of working basically. So what we did, we found one more gap in the industry, that is the retail market.
Hmm.
So government given a clear guideline that you are free, like a dealer is free to buy a battery from any uh, certified battery manufacturer.
Hmm.
So we expanded our footprints towards that industry, or like we can say towards that segment basically.
Hmm.
So we right now we have around 387 dealers on towards west, north, and like in these regions.
Hmm.
And we are expanding, as I told you, that we have associate points, five active associate points right now. One is
Okay.
in Lucknow, in Bihar, in
Hmm.
Gujarat, in MP, and Delhi NCR we are itself, and there's one more in Calcutta. So these
Okay.
are the six, we can say, including Noida, where Noida factory. We can say we
Hmm.
have six operational centers,
Hmm.
plus these, and we have 387 dealers. So our major penetration is towards the retail network. We do
Okay.
supply for like 8 to 10 OEMs as of now, but these
Hmm.
are mid-size OEMs. So
Okay.
who are having a capacity of around, who are having monthly requirement of around, we can say 100, 200 batteries right now.
Hmm.
Our
Okay.
major penetration comes from retail. We have a like pretty good retail penetration as of now.
Okay. So any client you would like to name from retail?
So there are multiple dealers who having good consumption in Gujarat, and in
Hmm.
Agra. There we have few clients who are having really good consumption, who consume around 100 or 200 batteries a month, which is like equivalent to an OEM or a small size OEM, we can say.
Okay. So, Vishal, my last question to you would be that where would you see like Maxvolt in 5 to 10 years from now? And are there any plan for further fundraising?
So I won't say open to that, but yes, there are some good big fundraising news will be there in the market in next 2 to 3 months, we can say.
Okay. Like they're talking to them right now or something like that?
So some processes are going on. So as I
Okay.
said, I won't be open to that, much open to that. But yes, I'll
Mhm.
give a brief that there are some good future prospects are there for fundraising. And
Oh,
a post, like we can say by end of August, we have some good news in the market as well. And previously we have raised some fund as well.
okay.
And the bigger chunk will be available by August.
Hmm.
And in terms of Maxvolt, so we are a company who's expanding towards like we are expanding slowly. So if
Hmm.
I give you a brief about our revenue segregations
Yeah,
or
yeah.
our product segregation which we sell in the market. So right now, our 75% of the revenue comes from EVs because
Okay.
that is the initial market which grown
Yeah.
at a rapid pace. From EVs, it is like two-wheelers and three-wheelers as of now. And apart from it, the 25% is come from the energy storage market for
Hmm.
whether it is starter batteries or like the home applications or solar parks, these kind of applications which we serve.
Hmm.
So in next 5 years, we are having plans to expand our battery for different applications like the starter battery, which is
Hmm.
a huge market in India for these cars, two-wheelers, and all applications.
Okay.
Apart from it, the home utilities itself a huge market. We are expanding towards that as well. We are expanding towards recycling and extraction of raw materials from lithium cells as well, like cobalt, nickel, and
Okay.
graphite, these kind of materials. So these are the future plans or these are the future prospects that we have.
Okay. So, thank you, Vishal, for this conversation. We will end it here. These are my questions to you. Thank you so much for being the part of our
Thank you.
conversation.
Thank you for allowing me to be there. Thank you so much for your time.